Good day. This is Teresa Fredericks from Growing Businesses Using Projects, bringing you yet another video, this time on setting up the dashboard in Excel. We're dealing with the project dashboard. As usual, my intent with this and every video is to ensure that the ordinary man can understand what is being taught and apply it. In terms of our agenda, we are looking at what is a project dashboard and its importance, setting up the Gantt chart, setting up the dashboard and the views. A project dashboard is a visual information display that depicts key indicators of project performance in a format that can convey the project's overall progress and highlight problems that require further attention. Dashboard. When we are designing the dashboard, we should select the categories of information that we want to address. For example, results of either the project or the project team or both, performance to schedule, performance to budget and resource budgets, for instance, labor hours versus actual budgeted, other resources used, actual versus planned expenditure. We should look at probably risk management. We should select specific indicators for each information category. For example, performance to schedule, we can look at the number of milestones, dates met. There are some other things that we can do to make the dashboard easily understood. We could select the format for each indicator. Information could be displayed in a table, bar graph, pie chart, etc. Indicators often have a traffic light format. For example, green light, the element is proceeding according to plan. Yellow light, one or more minor problems exist. Red light, one or more serious situations require immediate attention. So some key points with respect to the dashboard. The selection of categories, indicators, and their display formats depend on the intended audience. Best practice requires you to present actual indicator values alongside planned values. The dashboard report should be 1 page or less. So let's start with preparing the Gantt chart. Okay, we are in Excel now and we're going to do the Gantt chart. So I have just put in some tasks, duration, and the start date. And the start date I'm going to put in is the 27th of November 2023. I am assuming there will be no holidays. Now I am trying to mimic MS Project. So I am going to be taking it from the initial start dates and show you how you can calculate all the other dates. So to get the end date, you have to put in a formula. The formula is the workday function. So you're going to have workday, open brackets, and you see that it gives you what you're supposed to have. The start date, which is this date here. The days, which is going to, so now before we go on, I want you to minus 1 from the start date, because project Excel assume that you're starting the following day. So it is the start date minus 1 comma, and then you put the duration. Now if you had holidays, you would put in the holidays, but I am just not, I'm assuming there are no holidays. So you click on that and you would get, now this is going to give you, if you see 3 working days, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. But now for us to be able to check it properly, I want us to bring in something called a picker. So a date picker. So we're going to go into options. We are going to go into custom ribbon, and you're going to be going here to make sure. Now I have the developer ticked. You're now supposed to tick the developer and say OK. So what that will do, it will bring up the developer, and then you can go into add-ins, and I have already added in the mini calendar. So I'm going to just put add, and I'm going to get it here so that I can check to make sure I'm not putting a start day as a Saturday or something like that. So we have Wednesday, it's ending, so I'm going to put equal to Wednesday plus 1, and you're going to get Thursday. So now what we can do is just click here and drag this down. Now you realize you get 4 days. This is 4 days, so you're going to have, we are starting on the 30th, the 1st, the 4th, the 5th, you have 4 days. You realize it didn't count Saturday and Sunday. Now I'm going to go ahead and fill this up using the same strategy I showed you. Okay. Now I told you if you have an end date, you can go to the next line, put equal to, click on there and put +1. But Friday is going into a weekend. So if you put Friday +1, you're going to get Saturday. If you put Friday +2, you're going to get Sunday, because of the problem that I told you. Excel starts counting from the following day. So I'm going to have to put equal to Friday +3, and I will get back the Monday. And it is going from the 18th to the 25th. Alright, I had to adjust the days here so that we could get away from having to have Christmas as a holiday. Alright, now we are now fixing up the calendar. So we are going to put the start date, which is the 27th of the 11th, 2023, in this first column here. Now we have already made this column reflect something like this, because what we did, we went into numbers, we went into custom, and we clicked on D-Day month. So you got the day of the day and the month, and we clicked OK. Alright, we clicked OK, so we got it like that. Now to continue it, we just go right across. Now we want to know what day of the month of the week is the 27th. So you're doing something as you're going into function, and this box will come up and you're looking for day and time, and then you're coming down here and you're looking for something called a weekday, and you click OK. And what they're asking you for is what you want the weekday for. So you're clicking here because it's the 27th we want the weekday for. We click OK, and what we have here is a figure. So we're going to go again back into numbers, and we are going to go into time and into custom, in fact, and we are going to type in here DDD, and you are going to get the day of the week, Monday. And you are also going to just pull it, so you're going to just go here and pull it right across. So you're going to have the days for every one, right? So now what we're trying to do is to get the Saturdays and Sundays. So we click here in this box here, and we go to conditional formatting, new rule, and we're going to use a formula, and the rule we're going to put in is equal to weekday, open brackets, and what we're going to do is take the 27th, which is the start date, but before we move on, we're going to move the first $sign. So you're going to have that, and you're going to put a comma, and then you put 2 close brackets, and then you put in greater than 5, so that will give us the weekdays, the weekends, in fact. So now you're going to go into format, you're going to go to color, and I'm going to choose this color, and I'm going to click OK and OK. Now the formula is in here, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to copy that formula, and I'm going to go right through and paste it. And when I paste it, I'm now getting to get the Saturdays and Sundays. You see it's here, right? Alright, we are now going to put in the dynamic Gantt chart. So we are going to block the whole area again, right across until the end, and we are going to go into conditional formatting and new rule, and we're going to put in a formula, and what we are going to be trying to do is to see if 2 things apply. So we're going to put in AND plus And what we are trying to see is if the start date is, which is E2, is more than or equal to C3, and if the start date is less than or equal to D3. So how is that written? So we go here, which is E2, and we say it's E2 is more than or equal to, and we're going to C3. And then we put a comma, and then we go back to E2 is less than or equal to, and we are going into to D3 now. All right, and we are closing that bracket, and we are going to take the dollar sign from the columns here, and we are also going to take the dollar signs from in front of the 3 on the rows, and we're going to go into formatting, and I'm going to take this fill and I'm going to say OK, OK, and you see you have a dynamic chart. What we're going to do, we're going to just cut and paste it into our dashboard. So what I'm going to do, I am going to block from here because we don't want this in our dashboard, so we're going to hide it. And I am also going to make a box around this, which is going to, so I'm going to go into alignment, into border, and I just want this kind of border around it. So I'm going to click OK, and then I'm going to take a picture of the Gantt chart. I'm going to copy it, and I'm going to go to the dashboard, to my dashboard, and I'm just going to paste it in. So this is going to be my first piece of information that is going to go into the dashboard. What you're looking at is a set of information that I've put together in a table. How do you do a table? You just block everything, and you go to Insert, and you go to Table. And the dialog box will come up, and they will ask you, is there heading? And I tick yes, and I click OK. And what they have done, they have created a table. It's very easy because when you're working with tables and you're working with pivot tables, the table is the best format because you can easily add information to it. Okay, we are now going to do the pivot tables. So you go to Insert, Pivot Table, and a dialog box comes up and they ask you for the range. You just block the whole range of data, and you saying New Worksheet because you want it on a new worksheet, and you said OK. And what has happened is that on a new worksheet it has created the pivot table. If you notice, all the headings that was on your table is in the pivot table. So if you want, for instance, what I want resources. So I'll click it, I'll bring it down to rows. I want resources. And I want budgeted expenditure. I'll put budgeted expenditure in values, and actual expenditure, and I'll put actual expenditure in values. And you realize you have a table. Now you can actually do what I did before. I use my snipping tool, and you can actually copy this data, and you can actually carry it now to your dashboard, and you can paste it on. So you will have it in a table format. Or you can go back to your pivot table, and you can actually determine that what you want is, you go to pivot table, analyze, and what you're really looking for is a pivot chart. And charts will come up, and you can say, okay, I like this one, right? And what you can do, you can copy this chart, and you could go back to your dashboard, and you can paste it here. So you'll have your chart, and you can decide whether you want it this big, or you can make it smaller.